Hello guys, how are you? You may or may not have seen I have reviewed this product on my channel before, the Pro Standard mouth mount, GoPro mouth mount. I said in that video that I would put up a video of how I set up my GoPro, so I will show you. There's a little tip, sort of technique I learned doing it by sort of trial and error. If anybody else has any other tips and tricks for setting up either this or any other mount, please let us know in the comments below. It's great to share with the other viewers. People who are watching this are obviously looking for the tips and techniques, and I'd urge you to go down to the comments below if that's what you're after, and see what anyone else has got to put, because there's so many different things out there that you can only learn by trial and error, and I have only used this a handful of times at the moment. So any updates and stuff I get, I'll whack them on the channel too. So if you press subscribe, you'll be notified of when they are up in the future, if they go up, if I do discover anything else. I've always used this GoPro housing when I've been out in the sea. It is a Hero 3, I think, black edition, with a battery pack back door on it. I always film with the back door just because I want the extra footage. When I go in the ocean, where I usually go is a huge cliff back up to the car park, so I don't want to be getting out halfway through and traipsing up to get another battery or to put my GoPro away or anything like that. So I would much rather just be in, if you know what I mean, staying in, rather than messing around and interrupting my session because the battery is running out. So this mouth mount, and this tip may apply to others, I know it applies to this one, but if you have been having this problem, it may be something you can try and apply to your mouth mount. Again, let us know in the comments below if it works. But when I surf with this, I always use a bodyboarding bicep leash just to keep the GoPro secure and safe. I'm nowhere near good enough to be using it with just a back door and fishing around for it after I've wiped out. I also like the flexibility of when I'm paddling out, being able to chuck it over my shoulder or something and not have to worry about it while I'm paddling out. So this is the type of leash I use. It's just a really old No Friends bodyboarding leash. Those who know will, I'm sure, appreciate. Like this video if you remember No Friends. It'd be pretty cool to see if anyone out there remembers and appreciates them. But yeah, I basically whack it through here, and I whack it through the furthest one from the bolt. Then we put the GoPro on, obviously. And this is where you have to maybe be a bit patient, or make sure you choose the leash right, because this string will probably be standard. You'll see on this leash it is just simply attached. So the string is like a surfboard where you can replace it easily. I mean, you can replace it, you could cut it off and change it if you wanted. Much easier just to find the right leash in the first place. But basically you put the GoPro on where it is, but you will see this is where it's difficult, because we have this in the gap now, it won't go all the way down. So I'm really having to apply quite a lot of pressure and sort of wiggle around to get in there. But for me it's worth the time, so bear with me. So we're on. That is way more difficult than it looks because all the tension, the screw doesn't want to go through perfectly. You'll see that gap right there is kind of fully closed by this thread now, so it really doesn't like it, but it does fit. I've kind of just proved that, but it's not easy either. And once you've done it, make sure, this is my sort of pro tip if you will, make sure this screw's actually on, because it's all good and well this being through these bits, but if it's not properly engaged into this screw, it's not safe. If that screw falls out in the ocean, for example, it's pretty tight in there, so it's unlikely to, without you realising that it's gone loose first. But yeah, just make sure if you really want the safety. So my tip once you're in this position though is something I realised when I was in the sea, that I'd be holding it in my mouth like this and the leash was really loose, so I'd get back and I'd have some perfect footage, but I'd have a big black thing in front of the camera. Now the technique I got to solve this was really simple. I simply hooked it round this screw as many times as you can. I think the first time I did it, it only went round once, but it's looking like it's going around twice now. And just that kind of stops it going in front as easily. It does still occasionally end up in front, but you'll see even there it's not hanging as far in front of the lens. That would probably still mess your footage up because of how wide the angle is. But so when you're taking off, still try and pull it behind and make sure it's easy, make sure it's there. But it certainly helps. That's my little tip. If anybody else has any tips in filming and surfing with a GoPro, whether that be with a mouth mount and a leash or with a board mount and how to angle it, let us know in the comments below. It's great to share those sort of tips with people who are watching this video and clearly looking for that sort of advice. If you've enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please press like, and if you'd like to see more like it in the future, press subscribe and you'll be notified of all my future videos. Thank you very much guys, I'll see you soon.